Alex at school where he completes a timed fitness test while his classmates cheer him on. After finishing with an excellent result, everyone congratulates him, making it clear that he is also preparing for the police academy, hinting that both he and Sean may be working toward the same dream. In the middle of the celebration, some girls from another school notice Sean standing near Alex and get suspicious. They confront her, accusing her of being one of those girls from a rival school who is always throwing herself at Alex, and warn her that if she likes him, she should just be upfront about it. To defuse the situation, Sean tells them that she is actually his sister. This surprises everyone and two of them walk off together. And then one of her school classmates comes and tells Sean secondhand that she has apparently become well known at Alex's school for claiming to be his sister, and that the actual girls who like him are furious about it. When she brings this up with Alex directly, he teases her lightly, pointing out that at least being his sister makes her look good by association, which annoys her further. At the restaurant, Alex and Sean are eating a meal and some girls come and want to share a table with the group. But as more people crowd around, more girls one after another, all claim in turn to be a sister as well, each one saying it with total confidence until the sheer number of so-called sisters becomes a running joke with people counting them out loud in disbelief, wondering exactly how many sisters this one boy can possibly have. Sean sitting nearby is asked at one point if she is also one of the sisters, and this time she is bluntly and publicly corrected, told directly that she is not his sister after all, which visibly stings since only a moment earlier she had claimed exactly that identity herself as a joke or shield, and now hearing it denied out loud in front of everyone lands differently. Later that night, Sean is studying alone in her room when Alex quietly climbs in through the window and brings her a meal, making sure she does not skip dinner while studying. As they talk, she asks him about his upcoming police academy fitness test. Before he leaves, Sean sincerely wishes him good luck for the exam, and Alex quietly heads back home through the window. And then the scene shifts into the day of Alex's official retest for police academy admission. While Sean is in her own classroom taking an exam, she is suddenly interrupted by someone rushing in to tell her that something has happened to Alex. Today is supposed to be his retest day, and he had gone home briefly to grab his identity document, but never came back. His friend went to check on him but got no answer at his door, and with the building locksmith unavailable, there was no way to get inside. So this friend had no choice but to come find Sean for help. Sean immediately drops everything, telling her teacher she will worry about her own class situation later, and rushes off with him toward Alex's home. At the home, both Sean and Alex's friend are busy finding Alex. At the same time, Alex's father comes home. Sean tries to stop him. At the same time, Alex's friend finally finds him and gives him a knife to break the lock. And finally, before his father reaches him, he breaks the lock and leaves from there. At the test site, meanwhile, another friend, Yang, is left keeping watch trying to buy time, but the officials in charge insist they are already running late and cannot bend the rules any further. When Alex finally does return and his friend only apologizes helplessly to him, saying they tried to stall for him, but could not stop the process from moving on, leaving Alex visibly frustrated and asking why they could not have held on just a bit longer for him. That evening back at home, an ordinary dinner scene turns into something far more painful. Alex's father figure notices Alex looking at or holding an envelope or document related to a forensic physical evidence examination fee under Alex's own name and demands to know why Alex has been going through his thing. Alex tells him that his father has no right to control him, that only his mother had that right. But she is dead now and this family has nothing to do with him anymore. Alex's father, hurt and furious, reminds him that he raised him like his own son and even secured him a guaranteed job at the Power Bureau after graduation, calling in countless favors for an opportunity many people would envy. Alex fires back that he has always been terrified of electricity, yet his father continues to force that future on him. He accuses him of trying to control his life out of his own insecurities, and of constantly speaking badly about his late mother. Overwhelmed with frustration, Alex asks when his father will finally let him make his own choices, reminding him that he already lost the chance to choose his own high school. He bitterly questions whether he plans to destroy this opportunity as well before declaring that he never wants to become someone like him. Later, Sean is pulled out of class again, this time told something has happened at her own home, and that she needs to go back immediately. On her way, she passes through a chaotic public scene. A crowd of angry people protesting outside what appears to be the offices of Green Life, the very company connected to Shun's mother, shouting that the company has cheated them out of their hard-earned money, some of them showing physical injuries or holding up cash that represents their life-saving, accusing the company of running a scam, possibly connected to fraudulent health supplements. Rumors swirl in the crowd that everyone associated with Green Life will likely be arrested, since so many people in the area have lost their savings to this scheme, including tragically someone's entire college fund. The driver even turns and asks Shun directly if someone in her family was scammed too, a question loaded with irony given her own mother's involvement in the very company being condemned. Arriving at the hospital instead of her own home, Shun finds her mother and learns the real reason she was called back. Alex's father has suffered a brain hemorrhage and has not woken up. Her mother explains that Alex had a huge fight with his father, said he wanted to cut ties with him completely, which upset him so much that he went out drinking in anger. When he came back home, the hallway lights were out due to a power failure, and he took a bad fall in the dark, hitting the back of his head on the floor, losing consciousness immediately, and being rushed straight to the ICU. And at the same time, her mother, stressed about the cost of 3,000 yuan a day, complains bitterly that they cannot possibly afford this. After that, Shun tells her mother to go and arrange the money, saying she will stay here. Later, Shun's mother returns home looking for the checkbook, but finds nothing because Alex's father has already hidden it. The next day, she calls Shun and tells her to go to the Power Bureau to sort out Alex's medical insurance. Although Shun points out that she and Alex are not married, her mother dismisses the concern and tells her to simply claim to be Chin, refusing to pay any of the medical expenses herself. At the insurance office, Shun finds herself in an awkward and humiliating situation as the staff and people waiting in line pressure her to sign documents under false pretenses, while she hesitates over what to do. And then she leaves without signing and checks her bank balance, which is just 250 yuan. Eventually, Alex does arrive at the hospital, greeted with a mix of relief and reproach. Shun's mother is told his father has been lying unconscious for 3 days, urged not to let any grudge come between them no matter what has happened since he is still his father. He is reminded of the mounting cost of treatment, and told he needs to start seriously thinking about how to handle this responsibility. Alex, hurt and defensive, points out sharply that it feels strange for anyone to suddenly place so much trust and expectation in him now when he is still just a student with no real income of his own. Questioning where they expect him to find that kind of money, she reminds him again that she and his father were never officially married, essentially absolving herself of any financial duty, and sarcastically brings up an old promise he apparently once made to take care of his father forever, which Alex bitterly rejects, snapping that his father is not even dead yet, as if to say it is far too soon to already be discussing what happens after his death. In the next scene, Shun brings Alex mints instead of the cigarettes he had asked for, gently teasing that mint can help keep him awake too during this long sleepless vigil. Sitting together, keeping their distance at first, Alex is asked why he is staying so far away, told he is not going to be eaten. Slowly, he opens up about where he has actually been staying during the days he disappeared, revealing he has secretly built a small sleeping space in an empty warehouse behind a friend's repair shop, someplace he can crash anytime, hinting that this has been a long-standing survival strategy of his, not something new, suggesting he has quietly been enduring a difficult half-homeless existence for years, even while still attending vocational school. Just as the conversation turns toward asking what happened on the day, everything fell apart between him and his father, and then suddenly, his father's condition becomes more critical. A doctor soon delivers devastating news to the family. Li Bin is now clinically brain dead. His heart is technically still beating, but he can no longer breathe on his own. And even if treatment continues, it will only maintain his most basic vital functions with no real chance he will ever regain consciousness again. The doctor stresses that continued treatment will be extremely costly, and that a decision needs to be made quickly given how urgent the situation now is. Then the doctor gives him an official authorization document requiring a signature from the designated decision-maker, and he sees Alex's own name written there as that authorizing party, placing the terrible weight of this decision squarely on his young shoulders. Later, Shun's mother shocks Alex with her calmness, assuring him that he will not be a burden to them. She reveals that she and 2 partners have been running a pool hall business, and that since Li Bin is unlikely to survive, she plans to use his remaining savings to cover the money they still need. She openly admits how heartless her words sound, but says she no longer cares. Aware that people have been trying to get hold of Li Bin's bankbook, and that Alex has been avoiding certain phone call, she makes it clear that her only concern now is the insurance payout and whatever inheritance remains. In return, she offers to let Alex and his family stay in the house until he reaches adulthood, presenting the arrangement as a practical deal and suggesting that even if they are no longer truly family, they can at least remain friends. In the next scene, we are shown that Alex's father passed away, and we are shown the funeral of his father. At Alex's father's graveyard, Shun's mother tells her, "It's raining, let's go back first and let E stay with his dad for a while." But she ignores her and doesn't want to leave. Then her mother leaves from there. In the next scene, we see Alex at his billiard hall where a man named Mr. D comes to talk business with him. Mr. D tells him that he has heard Alex wants to transfer the billiard hall, and Alex explains that many small business owners in the city are quietly selling off their shops because of some larger financial trouble going on in the city. Connected to an investment company called Louis, Mr. D warns him that at such a young age, this decision to sell everything is not something to take lightly, especially when so much money is involved. Chin still goes ahead and tells his friend he agrees to hand over the whole shop along with 6 months of free rent, which shows just how badly he needs the money quickly. Meanwhile, in a completely different part of the city, Shun's peaceful life is suddenly disturbed. Her mother tells her that they cannot live in their house anymore, and that she needs to apply for boarding at her school, not just for a semester but for a full year. Shun does not understand why this sudden decision is being made in the middle of the semester, but before she can ask more questions, debt collectors are already banging on the door of their home, shouting for someone named Mr. Wei to come out, and eventually revealing that Wei has been hiding from people whose money she owes. At the same time, Alex comes and tells the antique collector that she can stay in his house. At night, Shun has a dream in which her mother leaves her and she wakes up shouting, "Mom, Mom." Then Alex comes and tells her she is sleeping in her room and she asks him why he is back. He says, "Why can't I?" Then she says, "Why not? This is your home." She picks up her bag and starts leaving from his room, but he stops her. She says, "This is your home now. Your father passed away. You can take it." He says, "You don't have to keep taking my room. Come back and stay properly." But before letting her fully settle in, he warns her seriously that if anyone ever asks her whether she knows Wang Jin, she should not answer at all, and that if anything happens, she should come straight to him instead of trying to handle debt collectors on her own. In the next scene, Shin gets an urgent call from her mother at school telling her to pack her bag immediately and reach the bus station in half an hour because Uncle Lee will pick her up, and they can no longer stay in the city. Confused and scared, Shun goes along, but the moment she reaches the station. In the next scene, we see Alex in the loan office. The two of them ask the station staff to make an announcement calling out Wei Mingjin's name, saying that her child is looking for her. But even after the announcement plays again and again, Wei never comes forward because she is too scared of being caught by either the debt collectors or the police. Shun, heartbroken and confused, searches through each bus herself, but doesn't find her. And then she asks Alex why he seems to know more than he is telling her, and he insists that if he really knew where her mother had gone, he would have no reason to hide it from her. Soon after, the real disaster hits. Through a news broadcast, we learn that Wei and her partner were actually running a huge fraud company, selling fake health products that were falsely advertised as being able to cure chronic illness and slow down aging, while forging health permits and quality inspection documents. The scale of the fraud is so massive that the police have already taken action against 12 main suspects and seized crores worth of money connected to the case. And the entire city is furious, wanting to tear Wei Ming apart the moment they find her. Shun goes to apply for a hostel room at her school, but the warden clearly tells her that hostel fees for a full year are needed up front, and when she admits she does not have enough money, she is forced to settle for just 1 semester instead, quietly asking if there are any work-study opportunities available, so she can support herself. In class at lunch break, all the students go to the canteen and ask her to join them for lunch. But she says she is not hungry since she doesn't have money. After the students leave, she eats a simple piece of bread. Then we see Alex meet Mr. D, and Mr. D advises him to let go of that idea completely. When his friend suggests that Alex should just mortgage the house left behind by his mother to solve his money problem, Alex immediately refuses, saying that this house is the only thing his mother left him and he will never risk it, no matter how badly he needs cash. Then he gives him a gift and tells him this was his favorite thing and now he is old, so it's his. At the auto repair shop where Alex has started working part-time alongside his construction job, the football gambling agent's business is stopped after a major tax evasion scandal in the city, and all gambling activity related to football matches has been forcefully shut down. After that, we see at the dump yard Alex collecting 10 bottles, and just then he helps a mysterious injured man on the street, someone who seems to be running from trouble of his own. Two men come there and ask Alex if he has seen a man there, and he clearly sends them in the wrong direction. The man offers him an expensive watch for the help, but he refuses. Even though the man is clearly not in a position to repay him right now, he tells Alex that if he ever needs any help, he should come find him in District 7. Chun doesn't answer him and leaves from there. In the next scene, we see Shin in her school with her classmates discussing their scores and preparing to choose between science and art streams for the next semester. And the teacher announces the next exam for the following week. In the next scene, we see Chin at the bank. He pays the installment and asks how much is left, and a lady tells him 23,000 yuan is left. At the same time, later at a bank, Shun tries to check her mother's account, and the staff informs her that the card has been frozen because it belongs to Weing. The moment people around hear the name Wei Mingjin, the atmosphere turns hostile and a group of angry victims surround Shun, blocking her way and shouting that she must know where her mother is hiding. Shun insists that she genuinely does not know anything, but the crowd does not believe her, calling her the daughter of a swindler and even the daughter of a murderer. Since one of Wei Mingjin's victims apparently lost his life because of the financial ruin she caused, some of the men try to force her phone away from her, insisting she must keep calling her mother until she picks up, while others begin roughly pulling her along, wanting to drag her to the police station. In the middle of this dangerous crowd, Shun narrowly escapes into oncoming traffic, and it is Alex who rushes forward, scolding her sharply. "Are you crazy? Don't you see where you're going?" Clearly terrified that she could have been badly hurt. Despite everything, Shun still tells the angry mob that she will personally pay back whatever amount her mother owes little by little, every month. But the men mock her, saying that she is nothing special, and that everyone is simply looking for someone to blame since Wang Xian has vanished with all the money. Shun firmly refuses to run from responsibility, telling them plainly, "I am the one who will act as the sandbag now. I will repay what my mother owes." Next scene, we see Shin at the hostel eating simple bread when some girls come to her and she hides it. The girls ask her what she is doing there and she says she is memorizing vocabulary. Then she leaves and the girls say that even without her vocabulary book in hand, she claims she has already memorized everything, causing her friends to gently tease her and call her a poor girl. They also notice she clearly does not even own proper winter clothes. Then she goes to Alex's house through the window and takes her clothes. Just then, Alex arrives with stitches and he thinks she should be a thief. Just then, she says she will only get her stuff and he stops her by grabbing her bag. In the chaos, her bag opens and all the 10 bottles become visible. And then Alex realizes what she has to do for a living. After that, he goes to her school and gives a bag to the doorman and tells him to give it to Shen, telling her it is from her mother and also leaves a note for her. Shen's teacher tells her about the bag and she comes thinking her mother has come herself, but the doorman tells her a man left the bag for her. Then she reads a note written on it, "Thank you. Take care." And then she opens the bag and finds the clothes belonging to Chin. At the auto repair shop, we learn that Chan has started working part-time alongside his construction job. Meanwhile, Shun comes to Alex's shop and hands over a bag left with him, saying it actually belongs to Alex and had been mistakenly given to the wrong person. When Alex tries to give it back to her, she coldly refuses, saying she does not want anyone's charity. But Alex insists that if something has been given to her, she should simply take it and stop being so stubborn. His friend later reminds him gently that Shun had once rushed without a second thought to save him when Alex Bean had locked him inside a room, and that after everything she has done for him in the past, she deserves at least a little bit of understanding now, especially since she has once again been left with nothing and thrown out of her own comfort. In a lively street market, we see Shin walking past food stalls selling roast chicken, rice noodles, tsongani, and fresh fruit, clearly struggling to afford even a simple meal, quietly telling a vendor to take back food she cannot pay for. Alex, watching from a distance, cannot help but confront her, asking bluntly how much money she even has left for food, and pointing out that she can barely feed herself, yet still refuses help out of pure stubbornness. Shun snaps back that it has nothing to do with him, and tells him to focus on his own studies instead of worrying about her. When Alex notices bruises on her, he immediately suspects that the debt collectors or bullies from before have hurt her again. Shun keeps insisting that it is none of his business and that she is her own way of handling things. But Alex argues back sharply that helping her once out of impulse does not guarantee he will always be there, and questions whether constantly running away is really her idea of having her own way of solving problems, to which she fires back that at least it is smarter than fighting people head-on and getting hurt for nothing. The situation escalates one night when Alex ends up in a physical fight, beating up a group of men who had clearly been harassing Shun, and the matter reaches the police station. During questioning, the injured men falsely accuse Shun herself of orchestrating an attack, shouting that she is the daughter of a swindler who deserves no sympathy. And one officer clearly familiar with Alex from before asks him directly about his connection to Shun. When pressed further, Shun herself finally explains to the police captain that her mother and Alex's father used to live together as a couple, and that now her mother has run away while his father has already passed away, showing just how tangled and painful their shared family history really is. The men mock her again for supposedly knowing how to spin a convincing story simply because she is a swindler's daughter, and even ask whether she knew in advance about Alex's plan to take revenge on them. To which she insists she was at school and had no idea at all. The police captain, seemingly an acquaintance of the family, tells her gently to stay calm and not argue further with the aggressive men. Later, in a softer moment away from the tension, the police captain is shown caring for someone close to the family, dropping her off at school. Both girls walk toward the school together and the lady tells her to eat properly, take care of her health while adjusting to a new school, and even exchanges phone numbers with her so she can reach out whenever she needs anything. In the next scene, we see a police officer telling Alex that it's fortunate the other party agreed to settle today since it won't damage his record, otherwise he wouldn't pass the background check for the police academy. Alex, completely calm, says it doesn't matter to him at all since he's not taking the exam anyway. The officer asks if this is because of the Wei Minjin case and clarifies that she was never legally his father's wife, so this shouldn't affect him. But Alex simply says it has nothing to do with him. The scene then shifts to school. In class, an announcement is made that the girls' dorm will undergo plumbing work, so boarding students will need to commute from home for the next 2 weeks. The teacher instructs everyone to head home right after self-study period ends, and tells boarding students to take their valuables with them so nothing is left behind in the dorm. The kids happily say yes since many students are getting a chance to go home. In this same class, we see another student who stays seated late, and the teacher tells her to hurry home too. Shun's situation is different from the other students. In the next scene, she goes to Alex's house and stops outside. She sees Alex coming from the street, so she runs away and hides herself. Next, we move to an internet cafe hiring temp night shift workers, meals and lodging included. Shun also starts working here as the new girl since her dorm is closed, and she has nowhere to stay. A customer harasses her, insisting on logging in without an ID card and behaving strangely, but Shun firmly refuses, saying login isn't possible without an ID. When the customer becomes too much, Alex's friend steps in, stops the man, and logs him in himself. In the morning, Alex's friend comes with food, and here he's learned that because of the dorm situation, Shun has been working nights at the internet cafe. The elder says, maybe this is good for Shun since it'll teach her independence, but it pains him to see Chin, who already works so many jobs, wanting to take on yet another responsibility. Still, Alex says, give her a key to the house, meaning he wants Shun to have a key, so she can stay somewhere safe at night instead of the internet cafe. On a phone call, we learn the key has been given to Shun. Though she didn't take it willingly, it had to be forced on her. Chinija says as long as she has it, that's fine and ends the matter there. And then he goes home and cleans the house before Shun come. In the next scene, when Shun is alone at the cafe at night, Shun follows her there. He asks why she's following him and Shun replies that she wants to stay here of her own will. Afterward, there's a tense exchange between them where Shun angrily says, "You're the one who threw me out. Why are you following me now? What do you want?" Reminding him that Alex once said she wasn't his family. Alex apologizes and says he said that in anger without any real intention behind it. Here comes an emotional moment where Alex assures her, "You are my family and that house is your house too." Shun starts crying and Alex comforts her, and then both go to the house. After this, we see the two of them settling in at home. Shun puts away her things and Alex tells her that her toothbrush and such are kept just as before, and to let him know if she needs anything. Alex tells himself, "I've grown up, I can take care of my family." When he goes in the kitchen, he opens the fridge and finds out there is nothing in the fridge to cook. Shun also comes in the kitchen to help. Alex stops her, telling her not to open the fridge, but she forcefully opens it. He then says they'll eat out of the house, but Shun opens her bag and gives him 2 boxes of noodles, and then the power goes out. Alex goes to check and realizes he forgot to pay the bill. This small domestic problem shows the everyday struggles of their life, how the two of them are managing on a limited income. Then comes a sweet scene where the two sit and eat by candlelight or in the dark, try to cook noodles and share sausages. This scene shows their closeness and teamwork. The next day, Alex tells Shin where to pay the bills, electricity and water here. And for gas, she'll need to get a card from the Civic Center, and they only accept cash. Shin insists she'll also contribute to the bill since she's using the utilities too. She mentions she saved some money from the internet cafe and from selling scrap. Alex initially refuses, but Shun says she won't feel comfortable staying there if she doesn't contribute her share. She takes out her savings, only 50 yuan, and asks if it's enough for 2 people. Alex says it's plenty. There's also a barbershop scene where Alex gets a shave, after which the two go to a scrap/viable market where old items are sold cheaply on Wednesdays and Saturdays, including some food items at low prices. This shows how the two of them keep their expenses under control. Next is a significant sequence where Alex takes Shun to a small scrapyard at night, where they can find and sell copper wire, aluminum, motors, and similar items. He instructs her never to come to such places alone since it isn't safe at night. They search together and Alex tells her to walk carefully, so she doesn't get hurt by nails or debris. At one point, Shin asks what would happen if something fell from above, and Alex jokes, "If something falls, it'll fall on me first," showing that he's always thinking about protecting her. Shin asks if he's come to such places before, and Alex explains that during elementary and middle school, he often went hungry and came to places like this looking for food. And in a flashback, we are shown how difficult Alex's past was. In the next scene, as Alex and Shun are walking home together, a dog suddenly starts barking at them. Staying calm, Alex tells Shun to slowly step back and not panic. However, the moment the dog moves closer, the two of them break into a run, laughing and rushing away together until they are safely out of its reach. After that, we are shown the scene 3 months later. A scrap dealer weighs their haul and pays them. The dealer tells them to come by often. Here Shun happily tells Alex, "See, you need me," and suggests that since they've earned good money today, they should eat something nice. They go out to eat quickly, and calculate that they spent 12 yuan on food, leaving 118 yuan. Shun is surprised when Alex wants to give her all the money, and asks what will be left for him. In the next scene, Alex's friends ask him how long he'll support her until her school is finished. Alex tells them he will support her no matter that she is from another mother, and leaves from there for the dorm. The scene then shifts back to school where Shun is taking her belongings out of the dorm. Alex comes there to pick her up and take her home. Afterward, the teacher calls her over and tells her that her performance has improved this time. She ranked 42nd in the whole grade, which is encouraging. But then the teacher brings up Shun's family situation, and asks if her mother told her that next semester's fees haven't been paid. Shin is shocked since she had no idea. The teacher explains that her mother before leaving only paid for 1 semester's fee, saying the family circumstances were difficult, and the school overlooked it for a while since their policy is not to let any child leave school over unpaid fee. But now the issue has come up again. The teacher gives Shin a tuition fee receipt and tells her that given her situation, the school has waived some of the fees, though not entirely, and that she needs to go home and discuss it with her family since Shun can't pay this amount herself right now. Back home, Alex happily says he's made fish today, Shun's favorite, and goes to clean it. But Shun's mood is down. She tells him the teacher talked about her mother. Alex anxiously asks if there's any news about her mother, and Shun says no, but that it's related to her mother. Nonetheless, Janine comforts her, saying, "She is who she is and you are who you are. Don't put so much pressure on yourself." Then he gets her busy with chores to distract her. Next comes a scene where we understand through Alex in the shop that Shin's mother, Wei Mingjin, is going abroad and has already gotten involved with a new man in a very short time. People taunt about this, saying Wei Mingjin is a different kind of woman altogether. Don't underestimate her. After this, Alex repeatedly tries calling a certain number, but each time gets a recorded message saying the subscriber has switched off their phone. Please try again later, likely Wei Mingjin's number. When Alex tells her that if the number isn't going through, she should stop calling, he reassures Shin not to worry about the fees, saying, "I'll handle it." After this, there's a small domestic moment where Alex takes Shin's dirty clothes to wash them. In the next scene, we see Alex participating in some competitive game where an exhibition match is happening. People say, "Look how seriously he's taking this," and then he wins the game. Alex demands directly since second place gets 8,000 yuan, and first place gets 20,000 yuan plus separate tips for each win, and a man mocks him saying, "You have no backing. Even if you win the championship, your prize money will be forcibly taken from you." But Alex doesn't lose courage and says determinedly, "Don't worry. Whatever I get my hands on, I don't let go of. This sequence shows Alex's hidden hard work and determination. He's trying every possible way to earn money for Sean's fees and household expenses. In the next scene, Sean is cooking in the kitchen when the power suddenly goes out as she searches a drawer for a flashlight. She finds a rope and is reminded of the painful past when Alex's father used it to tie her hand. She also remembers the night Alex saw it during another power outage, leaving him deeply shaken by the memory. Realizing how much pain the rope carries, Sean quietly picks it up and throws it into the trash, hoping to leave those painful memories behind. In the next scene, as Alex returns home, he is suddenly surrounded by a group of men demanding prized money from him. When he refuses, they brutally beat him. Just as the fight gets worse, another man arrived, causing the attackers to flee. It is then revealed that this is the same man Alex had previously helped by saving him from two other men, and he has now returned the favor by rescuing Alex. Alex tells her that he's found a new job in a place called District 7, doing night shift, easy money, just watching monitors in an air-conditioned room. But Sean immediately panics. District 7, we learn, is an infamously dangerous area full of violence and chaos. She begs him not to go. Alex tries to reassure her and changes the subject. The next major turn comes when Sean starts feeling unwell at night, clutching her stomach. Alex panics and takes her to the hospital. The doctor initially diagnoses her with acute gastroenteritis, suspecting food poisoning, and advises her to eat only home-cooked food and take better care of her health, especially since, as the doctor points out, young women need extra attention to their bodies. Alex is told she needs an 4 overnight and someone to stay with her. Without hesitation, he says he's her only family here and that he'll take care of her. He sits by her for drip, worries over every wheeze of pain, insists on cooking fresh meals instead of letting any food go to waste, and even helps her review her biology notes on DNA replication while she rests with her eyes closed, reading her textbook aloud to her so she doesn't strain herself. The next morning, despite still recovering, Shin insists on going to her exam. At school, her homeroom teacher meets Alex and gently hints that Shin being away from her real family, and at a sensitive age likely carries more emotional weight than other kids her age, and that he should check in on her more. Alex simply describes her as simple, someone who just wants to get into the honor class and win a scholarship. But we can tell there's more beneath the surface that even he doesn't fully see. In the next scene, we see Chin in District 7. He's welcomed loudly by rowdy coworkers, and it's shown that he's skilled and sharp, handling a tense confrontation with an angry, drunk customer with surprising composure, threatening violence with calm words instead of losing his temper. Bystanders recognize him from a pool hall and comment on how good he is, hinting that Alex has a reputation in this rough world that goes beyond just being muscle for hire. In the next scene, when Alex comes back home, he sees that Shun's stomach pain has returned, but this time it's much worse. Alex rushes her to the hospital again, and this time the diagnosis is far more serious: a ruptured corpus luteum, a condition that can become life-threatening if she loses too much blood, potentially sending her into shock. Surgery is needed immediately. But here the hospital hits a legal snag. They require a signature from a direct blood relative for the general anesthesia. Alex claims to be her brother, but when the doctor presses asking if he's her biological brother, it's revealed that Chun and Shun are not blood-related siblings. Despite living together as a family, panicked and desperate to take responsibility anyway, Chin is saved by the timely arrival of a police officer who steps in to handle the paperwork, explaining that Shun's actual family can't be reached for special reasons. This police officer clearly already knows Alex and has some kind of history with him, hinting at Alex's past being tied to law enforcement in some way. After the surgery, we see a motherly woman referred to as one who brings Shen homemade kanji and comforts Chan. It's revealed that one was actually listed as Shun's emergency contact because of her mother, and that she came the moment the hospital called. She gently helps Shun bathe herself. After her recovery, both come home. When Alex leaves for his job, she stops him and asks him to come back soon. "I'm worried about you." He tells her he will come back soon. After that, she wakes up from sleep and sees Alex and his friend make food for her. And Alex's friend teases him by saying things about being single, joking that a friend's cousin is interested in him, and warning him not to let his life become a sad drama. By dragging around unspoken baggage, Alex brushes it off, insisting he's doing fine on his own. But the phrase baggage lingers meaningfully, especially paired with everything we've already seen of his hidden path. In the next scene, we see Shin in school. Her exam results finally arrive, and she has made it into the top science honor class. Her friends celebrate with her outside school, thrilled about her scholarship possibility. She happily gets out of school, and just then, Shun's mother suddenly reappears. She then takes her to a restaurant and tells her to eat something. Shun asks her why she left her, but she, trying to convince her to come live abroad with her, insists that a mother and daughter shouldn't hold on to grudges forever. But Shun is cold and distant, clearly hurt by years of abandonment, and questions her mother directly if she knew leaving would hurt her. Why did she still do it? Wang Jin tearfully explains that at the time she couldn't take Shun along, and that she came back the moment she was financially able to. She even offers a new life abroad complete with fancy shopping trips and promises to repay every cent she owes, especially to Alex if only Shun agrees to go with her. At home, Alex made a hot pot dinner, and Shun comes home early, having gotten her final placement into the honor class confirmed. But instead of celebrating fully, she brings up her mother's visit, revealing that we want to pay him back, and even offered to send her abroad. Alex reacts with a mix of bitterness and pride, sarcastically asking if the repayment will come with interest, pointing out that her mother left her behind for years and should be covering far more than just a debt. Sean quietly reveals she already has a scholarship covering her need, closing off, at least for now, all the difficult, complicated feelings sitting just beneath the surface between a mother who wants to reclaim her daughter and the man who actually raised her. Chin meets Shun's mom, who invites him to dinner, but he declines politely, clearly still guarded. Later, she essentially argues that if he really cares about her future, he should let her go with her mother instead of holding her back. But Alex remains firm. Part of him is torn, but he clearly won't just hand Shin over without her own true willingness. In the next scene, we see Shin with her mom in the market shopping, and Alex suddenly appears in the shopping mall. Shin's mother invites him for shopping, but he refuses and goes. In the next scene, she admits she knows that going abroad with her mother would objectively be the better choice financially and practically, and that she wouldn't be a burden to Alex anymore. But she confesses that the life they currently share, however difficult, is the one that makes her feel safe and grounded, and that her scholarship is arriving soon anyway. Alex listens quietly, seemingly lost in his own thought, until she playfully breaks the tension by asking for egg pancakes the next.